Hi everyone, how are you? Me again, Cherie Beck, for anybody that doesn't know me. If you do, hello, how are you? Back on here doing another video, and this one might be a bit of a shock for you guys in regards to my new age journey through to Christianity. So as you know, if you haven't seen my testimony, it is in this channel. So have a look at my testimony, have a wee watch of that. But today I'm going to kind of be talking more about my new age journey, how I didn't even realize I was in the new age until I actually got out of the new age. So for those that don't know what this new age business is, basically the new age is a whole heap of different things. It's things like channeled or reading channeled material. It's things like using crystals, meditation, yoga, words of affirmation, lucid dreaming, everything apart from seeking the one and only God, and through Jesus Christ. So basically I kind of started my new age journey, I guess, when I joined a network marketing company. So we kind of got advised to kind of get into it. I started doing it. I'm not going to lie, I do think there are some positive aspects, I guess, of it, but I was completely deceived. And yeah, basically there is a higher universal force that is God, okay? But the New Age kind of calls it like things like the universe and the trees and the goddess of the flowers and Buddha and all those kind of things. Basically, you know, one, love everything, just love everything. Think positive all the time, and you will get what you want. But the danger of this, basically, there is quite a few dangers of this, is the danger of this is essentially you're actually saying to yourself you're a god, without even realizing it. So before I kind of get into it, basically, I guess over the last 4 to 5 years of being in the new age without even realizing I was in the new age, basically the whole time I have constantly been seeking. I've been seeking and seeking and seeking and seeking and seeking. I've been creating vision boards. And firstly, actually, I do need to apologize for anyone that I have recommended get into doing these things, because I don't think that they are good. They might look good on the outside, but the enemy turns things upside down, and he actually comes as an angel of light, okay? So he's not going to turn up. The enemy isn't, the devil is not going to turn up in red horns and look all scary and freak you out. Literally, they come, he comes as an angel of light, and he makes things look beautiful, and they work for you, and you think it's God, or it's meant to be because it's like, oh, the universe told me, so it must be right. But actually their whole plan is to deceive you, so you get your eyes off God and what really we are created for, because we were not created from a big bang, okay? And I know a lot of people say, oh, well, how do we believe, you can't believe the Bible because it's man-made. So science, how did they get the information on science? Is all created by man and written by man, okay? So the Bible is actually, it's written by God through men. So that's, I guess, the difference as well. Hopefully that makes sense. Anyway, so I was totally deceived, and I do apologize to anyone that I've got onto the vision boards and certain books that I've read. and things like that. I also do think, though, that this has also kind of helped me reconnect with God in a way. He has used that in a way to reconnect with me, because I remember would be listening to things like I'd always every day do 10 minutes a day personal development, and I'd always used to like listen to like motivational speakers. I really got into kind of like The Secret and things like that, and they talk a lot about God, but what they do is they take specific scriptures out of the Bible to be able to use it for our advantage without having a relationship with God. So it's actually it's very, very dangerous. So anyway, over the last 4 to 5 years, I felt like, honestly, I've been seeking and I've been seeking and I've been seeking, I've been seeking. And it's only really been recently that I fully have given up everything for God. 100%, I want to live for Him and do my will for Him. And you'll understand that kind of in my testimony where my life has been. It's been an up and down journey. But since actually doing that, I have found, honestly, the most peace in my heart. Like, it's really, really hard to explain, because honestly, like everything that I have been through in life, I should be a complete depressed and utter flippin' mess right now. I could have every excuse in the world to hate people, to hate life, to hate everything, but I don't. I actually feel genuinely at peace. And the thing with the new age, I guess, is that you are constantly seeking. You're constantly looking for the next thing. I was really into vision boards, words of affirmations. I would meditate on things. I would like write out like I believe all this stuff, and I'd read it every day. Now I won $10,000. I don't know if anyone, if you kind of follow me, I read this thing out of a book basically, and I changed it up for myself, and I created $10,000. Now that is pretty cool. That is cool, but it is also very worldly. And again, I do think it was I don't know how to explain it. It wasn't of God. It was more of the world, because then I was started to seek more and more things of this world. And again, it is a distraction from what really is going on in this world. Just like the television, all sorts of things are all distractions to actually really what is going on. If everybody just takes 5 minutes and actually looks at really what is happening in this world, and how the good things in life are turning to be the bad things in life, and the bad is turning into the good. What we once called evil is now okay in this world, and oh no, that's okay. And what used to be good is now turning evil. And just take a minute and actually have a look at this, and there is so much law of attraction. I know from obviously coming from my background in my business that I've been doing for the last 4 to 5 years anyway, I know a lot of people swear by this. I know that it does work as well, but I'm saying it's not of God, and it's not His plan for us, and He doesn't want us to be worldly. We need to be warning people that the end is near. We are in the end days. Like, literally take a step back and have a look at what's going on in this world. Sorry, I've completely gone on a massive tangent. Anyway, so I used to do lots of words of affirmation. I've tried lucid dreaming before. I used to go to bed and listen to meditation at nighttime for the whole night. I don't even know what I was listening to half the time, because I was asleep, which is not good for you either. And the one thing that I can tell you is I always had anxiety when I was doing all this stuff. I always had anxiety. Things would make me feel really good for some time. So if good things happen, I would feel really good about it. Like I'd be like, oh yeah, that's cool. But that soon would die. And that's when you know that this isn't of God, because God is peace, right? peace and love and joy. And yes, the enemy is going to be constantly attacking you, but this is kind of like putting a band-aid over something. But not actually fixing the problem or really getting to the root cause. Because I was like doing things like, thanking the universe for this and that and believing in like all that kind of stuff when no. There is only one God and there is only one way to heaven, and that is through Jesus Christ. There is not the universe. Well, there is the universe, but yeah. Basically, you don't want to be praying to the universe, the sky, or the trees, or the sea. Okay, like just think for a minute how, like, giving birth, right? This is still just a miracle. Like, how does one have sex with somebody and a little bit of stuff comes out, and then you create out of this liquid type thing, you know what I'm talking about, create a baby with eyes, nose, mouth, bones, hair, senses, a brain. Now I've grown up, I can talk, I can think, I can see, I can walk, like all these things. And we are told from birth that basically we just blew up out of nothing and then everything was created. And here we are worshipping the trees and the plants and all this stuff when really we need to be worshipping God. So anyway, New Age basically is new lies. It's so hard to explain, but it's not at the same time, like, because I think when your eyes are opened, they're really opened, but when they're closed, they, like, you love your sin, you just can't see past it, you can't see that there may be a God, and it's, it's just really hard to explain to people, I guess, that eyes aren't open, but, there is a real spiritual realm out there. We fight not against flesh and blood, okay, even though you see that happening often. Again, that is a distraction, but there is actually power in higher places than us that we can ever think of. I'm sure people have many experiences in different areas of this, some more so than others, but there is literally a battle going on in a spiritual realm that we cannot see, and we really need to find God before it's too late, guys, honestly. The Bible is now the only book that I need. So I used to read The Secret. I used to read, I don't think I need to name them all, but there are a whole heap of different books. Again, a lot of them are just focusing on the universe and all sorts of things. Vision boards as well is another huge one that I was talking about that I really loved. Vision boards, you are constantly, you put something on a vision board and you are thinking about it all the time. They tell you to feel it like you've got it and dream about it and things like that. And yes, I do think that they work because I have had vision boards before and I've done that, but that's not necessarily saying that that's a right thing to do either, because basically you're creating your own destiny and God has his will and his plan set out for us and not our own will. And here we are creating our own reality. We are basically giving ourselves our power essentially and creating these things to us. But they are actually coming from the enemy to make us look like actually you are just, we're all just one and we're all spiritual beings and you can create whatever you want in your life, and therefore you're not going to go out and search for anything else because you've already got everything. So that's what it says in the Bible as well. It's really hard for the rich to get into heaven because they're literally just focused on what's the next thing that I can get in life instead of actually being humble. I'm not saying that rich people aren't humble and rich people don't help. There are people out there that do help in people as well, but you're basically considering yourself an own God. You're worshipping yourself because you can bring all these things to you and other idols as well. And basically, it's the same trap that Eve fell for. It's the same trap that Eve fell for in the garden, saying, oh, no, God didn't really mean that. You know, you can eat that. And then you'll know the difference between good and evil. And it's the same trap that we're falling for. They call it new age, but it's actually just new lies that they're telling us. Here, go and do whatever you want in your life. Here you go. Basically, yeah, so basically the new age is just believing in anything that you want. You'll have everything you want. There are different aspects of the new age. There's whole heaps of different blimmin' things as well. Again, when I was caught up in this, I was full of anxieties, constantly striving to do my best. And if I didn't, like if I had something on my vision board in a certain date or something like that, and I was trying so hard and I was just focusing on it all the time and I was thinking about it all the time and it didn't happen, then it really messes with your head because you think you're not good enough, you haven't done a good enough job, or you know, it can be a really dangerous, destructive path that you go on because, again, yes, if you get it, woohoo, yay, cool, I won 10 grand because I thought about it all the time and I did all these things to help me get it. But then once that had gone, then it was back to zero again. And there's that hole in the heart that everybody is seeking, constantly seeking something. And it could be, everybody is different. It could be drugs, it could be sex, it could be houses, it could be money, it could be clothes, it could be food, it could be anything. And you're not going to find anything that's going to fill this gap in your heart apart from God and knowing the truth, honestly, knowing the truth. So, yeah, basically, again, it's, I believe that the new age is really deceptive. It is really leading people up the garden path. And yes, it looks all good and fluffy at the time. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. If it doesn't, sometimes it can really mess with your head. And then the thing is that when you want to get out of it as well, it turns ugly on you. It turns ugly on you because these wee demons don't want you leaving this deceptive path, because now they're going to have to find another way to lead you away from God, especially if you have found God. So, but Jesus will save you. He will save you, and you can control your decisions on how you feel and react without having to get into this whole new age thing. I do think it is a good thing to obviously think positive all the time, you know, look at the brighter things in life, but then there's nothing wrong with asking for help too, okay? And there's nothing wrong with getting down on your hands and knees and praying to God and being like, I need you in my life. And really seeking the one and the true God, not just the universe and creators and all this stuff, because as I say, there really is a whole heap of deception going on out there. And yeah, so you are in control. Basically, you're just going to choose to, you're either going to walk in faith or walk with the enemy. And this is what this new age is basically walking with the enemy, even if you don't see it. And what I get a lot from people is, oh, I don't believe that. I believe in this. That's cool, but just because you don't believe in it doesn't mean it's not real, and doesn't mean that when you die or when Jesus comes back that we're not all going to be judged. And I'm not saying this to scare people, and it is really hard to say it. It is really hard for me to say it because I am not, like, I'm not judging anybody for their choices. Everybody has a choice in life. God gave us the lets us have choices, but he wants us to choose him. But at the end of the day, it's like a parent, right? Like if you don't do something that your mum, like Malachi, if I tell him not to do something and he does it, or he doesn't do it, whatever one, there's a consequence for his actions, and there is a consequence for our actions at the end of the day. And I just want you to know the truth of this world. Like, honestly, just look at, I don't watch TV anymore, because just look at what is on TV, guys. What's on TV? They're putting on, there's a program about Satan and how, like, there's just, like, it's right in front of everybody's faces. They're literally laughing in everybody's faces, and a lot of people aren't even in tune to what's going on, because they're just going, oh, I don't believe in that, so it's okay. It's okay, I don't believe in that, and they just shrug it off and don't realize that actually they are conditioning us for a lot. And I don't want to go too far into it, because that will be another video for another day. But basically, my eyes are now opened. Okay, when you find the truth, when you find really the truth, you actually know. Like, you just, it's really hard to explain, because you need to have this experience yourself. If you have ever thought about Jesus, if you used to go to church, if you used to have a relationship with him, or if you have never but you want to, honestly, all you need to do is cry out to him, like I did that day on the deck, going, why am I even here? Why am I even alive? I don't get it. If you are real, you need to show me. That doesn't mean he's going to shoot out of the sky and he's going to land and be like, hey, how are you? Just here to tell you I'm real. Like, he doesn't work like that. But he works in mysterious ways, but he's amazing, absolutely amazing. So let Christ live through you, guys. I do hope that you find him. I know that a lot of people have been talking and they don't understand my journey and they don't get it, and I understand that, because at the end of the day it is my journey. But I do feel like I needed to share this, because I do feel like a lot of people are being duped, they're being deceived. And as much as it is happening, I mean, I used to get I had life coach, absolutely lovely guy, by the way, so no harm on him, but like, there's just the different ways that you think about things. And like, really, we should actually just be praying and being like, God, I need this, I need your help. Like, I made a really big decision not long ago, and I was really concerned in the flesh, I guess, about it, because it was a massive financial help for me, being a single mom, all this stuff, and basically I was going to lose a lot of that. And I felt like God was like, well, you need to decide, you're walking with me or you're walking with evil. There's no in between. You can't be like, oh, I'm gonna walk with God on a Sunday, but then on the rest of the days I'm gonna do whatever I want to do. No, you need to decide on your own path. Read your Bible, and it is very clear, and a lot of people don't read their Bibles, but once you start reading it, you're like, oh my gosh, ding, 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 ding. But yeah, basically, so I stepped out in faith. Now, this was really, really hard for me to do, because it was very hard for me to do, because again, this is something I've been doing for 4-5 years, wholeheartedly, and I stepped out in faith, and the next day he completely provided a whole trailer load full of wood for me, and I know that was God saying, like, you don't worry, I will provide for you. Okay, so if you are worried about certain things, honestly, God will look after you. You just need to pray and ask him. Don't pray and ask the universe. Okay, you're going to be bringing all these horrible things into your life. Yes, it might work, but it does not mean it is right. And at the end of the day, do you really want to invite these forces into your home, or would you rather invite God into your home and into your life and have the most peace and joy and love that you have ever had? I'm not saying it's an easy journey. There are challenges in place, but like, God gives you the strength. All you need to do is ask. So I feel like that was a bit of a confusing kind of video, but hopefully you kind of got the gist of this. Thank you guys for jumping on, and as God kind of speaks to me, I guess I'll be doing videos if that's what he wants me to do. Otherwise, we'll just kind of see where this journey takes us. So thanks everybody. Absolutely love you guys. That's why I'm jumping on and sharing this stuff with you. It's not because I've turned into a crazy lunatic. It's because I've actually found yeah, you guys need to read your Bible, okay? Please message me if you want to talk or anything like that. I absolutely love you guys. But don't make yourselves idols. Don't make yourselves your own gods, anything like that. I know a lot of Christians that walk in this path, but it is a very, very slippery slope. And a lot of people don't realize that they're being deceived until, yeah, like me, I got out of it. And then I was like, oh my gosh, I was doing all this stuff that was not right. I mean, I was obviously not walking with God the whole time, but yeah. So, love yous. Have a lovely evening, and I'll talk soon. Bye.